In today's video, I will reveal exactly how to write cold email scripts that will book you 30 plus qualified sales calls each month. Now, if you've ever gotten a cold email, I'm sure you'd be wondering, is anybody actually getting results with the platform? Now, you might even think they're spammy, they're plain annoying, or the fact that they just don't work. Now, this is because 99% of businesses who are doing cold email are doing them completely wrong. Now, most lead with a laundry list of features, talking about me, or sending a wall of text that immediately gets dumped right into the trash or even worse into your spam folder. I'd be willing to bet my left leg that if you checked your spam right now, you'd find exactly what I'm talking about. Most emails are going to be unremarkable. Others are just plain off-putting. Things like, "Are you okay? I hope this message finds you well." Or worse, just making sure you saw this, reminding you exactly why you ignored it in the first place. Now, this presents a massive opportunity to stand out in the inbox with a no-brainer offer and value-based cold email copy. Now, to make my point, I just checked my own spam folder, and this is exactly what I saw. Just making sure my last note reached your inbox. I know things can get lost. Didn't want to see this. This was in my spam. This is in everyone else's spam as well. Now, why should you be reading this? Why should you be listening, watching this video? The reason why is I've helped dozens of B2B businesses, agencies, service businesses add 10 to 15 qualified sales appointments to their calendar every single month by reworking their offers specifically for cold traffic and building them cold email systems so they can now have a consistent customer acquisition channel that will bring them between 1 and 4 new clients every single month. Now, these are the same processes that we use to regularly book 33 initial first discovery calls for our internal business and even more for our clients. Now, in this last year alone, my clients have added multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue through our efforts in working together. Now, just to show you I'm not full of it, I have a couple screenshots here. This is a couple of the campaigns that we've been running. Really strong lead to meeting ratio here, less than 375, showing just some of the screenshots of how many meetings we can book for various campaigns. And this is a quick note from one of my clients. We helped him rework his outreach scripts, wasn't getting any messages or replies back. And in this case, he's inundated and they're scaling their messaging up accordingly. Now, this is another client's dashboard, just 10 plus meetings there. So in today's video, what are we going to cover? One, we're going to talk first and foremost about the number one KPI that you should be tracking when it comes to cold email. Number two, what exactly you should be doing before you write any cold emails. And number three cold email frameworks that are going to help you book 30 or even more qualified sales calls each month with cold email. Let's dig into it. Now, most people will look at vanity metrics like open rates to see if your copy is performing well. Open rates don't actually tell you if your cold emails are any good. This is because they can be skewed due to email server filtering and privacy settings. Instead, look at the KPIs that are generating the actual results. The leading indicator KPI for a successful campaign is your interested reply rate. This is because positive intent replies indicate you've achieved message market fit. Now, in other words, your messaging is resonating exactly with your target audience. You'll also want to look at your total number of meetings booked, but there are other variables outside of copy, like the response time, that impacts your conversion rate from interested into meeting booking. Now, because of this, I suggest using a positive reply rate as the core barometer for analyzing whether or not your emails are working. Now, this is a typical cold email conversion cycle. This is what we use to model, but you start with your cold emails. You're expecting 5% to reply, of which 10% will reply positive, of which 50% will receive some sort of lead magnet, of which 25% will book a call, of which 80% will show. So the key to positive replies. Now, the most common question I get when it comes to cold email copywriting is the idea between personalization and relevance. Now, personalization can improve replies, but without any relevance, you're going to fall completely flat. Now, no amount of personalization is going to fix a bad offer, especially in a crowded inbox. So, bottom line, if your offer is irrelevant to your prospect's current situation, then your messaging is going to fall completely flat. Now, let's use an example to illustrate the point. So, say you run a marketing agency and you're currently having some issues running profitable ads. Then you get 2 emails in your inbox. Email A starts off by complimenting you, saying you had a great recent LinkedIn post, a great X post, or they are talking about your college mascot, or that you've raised some funding. The cold email offers a service that is to help you reduce your IT bill with a managed service. Email B offers you a risk-free 1 month of ad management plus a swipe file of proven ad templates, but it doesn't personalize based on what we mentioned before. Now, which of those emails is going to win or going to get you to reply? I'll let you think about it for a second, but really, email B is going to win every single time if you put yourself in this scenario's shoes, right? And the reason why is because it's relevant. Relevance to specific pain points is going to win out over personalization every single time. That's because you're feeling it now, right? So think about the before. I haven't been on my campus in 10 years. This is so irrelevant. This is weird. I'm going to mark it as spam. Or after, you can think, wow, this guy knows exactly where I'm at. This offer is a banger. I'm going to reply. So again, meeting your prospects where they are. So the point is to get the prospect and hit them exactly where they are. So right in the feels, right? So this is exactly what they're feeling right now. So if you can get the prospect to think, damn, this email was written especially for me, then you're going to convert at a much higher rate. So making the prospect feel like you understand them, you understand their pain points and what they're looking to achieve is going to go a long way in A, building trust, and B, getting them to respond. Similar to the situation I mentioned before, right? Like they're going to just mark it as spam. Email A, it's irrelevant. They don't really care about it. Email B, wow, this email was written specifically for me. If it resonates, they're going to be way more inclined to want to engage with you. So now, how do you think about actually getting into the head of your prospect? Because there are a million ways to do it, but I'm going to recommend 2 that have worked for me. So the first is so simple and obvious, many people just overlook it. The second is a great way to find ideas that you maybe have never thought of before. So let's dig into it. First, you want to interview your actual client. So simply ask your client to get on an interview, record that call, ask them the following questions. Why did you buy? What problem were you looking to solve? What was the most appealing part about my service or product to you? Why did you think this was a good investment? And what made you rationalize it as a business owner based on the price? How much would you have paid looking back on it? Where there could have been a better way to have structured your payment that would have made it easier for you to say yes? What's the most useful part about working with me? What could I add that would have made you pay more? What do you want added right now? What do you not care or use in regards to my product or service, and what doesn't matter to you? Do you have any additional notes that could help me position my product or service better to get more customers or close more deals? Now, there's huge upside in running these kinds of info gathering calls. And if all goes well, you can even just ask your client to convert the interview into a video case study so that you can use that in your outreach. Second option is just do ChatGPT research. So you can get deep in the mind of your prospect by doing some research. Make sure you give some really clear prompts on exactly what you're looking to achieve. But here are 2 that will help you get started. So you can just take this, copy and paste it in your own browser and apply it to your own personal use. First, you want to just define what the mission is. Hey, you're a cold email copywriting expert and specialize in understanding the pain points of whoever your ideal customer is for the purposes of whatever your service is, right? So then you want to give it a task. Give me a list of at least 5 dream results for companies in your target niche in regards to improving their SEO performance. In other words, do they use specific keywords and lingo when speaking about the end result? And then you want to give it some parameters. Write what your answers so they're easy to read. Make sure they answer the so what for each bullet point. In other words, don't just tell me the dream result, tell me why they're important and work backwards. Think thoroughly, leaving no stone unturned. And this is very important for our business. Second prompt, you can just have an imaginary conversation just inside that same conversation that you're having. In reply, you say, hey, now write an imaginary conversation between the CEO and the COO of each niche trying to achieve each dream result. Make it as realistic as possible and use the same language they would use in an actual conversation. Don't forget to think thoroughly, leaving no stone unturned again. So these are two great prompts. Get you into the head of your ideal customer, and you can glean the insights from that chat convo, and you can use it to work your copy. Now, we know exactly what your prospect cares about. It's time to convert that into an actual email, right? So we now want to take the dream results of those prospective clients and use them to actually craft an offer. So an offer is the starting point of any conversation to initiate a transaction with the customer. And this is by Alex Hormozi. If you've never heard of him, he's written a handful of books. His most recent $100 million offers, phenomenal. I would recommend going and check it out. Learned a lot from him. But Hormozi has developed a value framework which you can use to build out your own no-brainer offers, right? So to make a juicy no-brainer offer, you want to maximize the dream outcome and the likelihood of achieving that outcome. You want to minimize the time it takes and the work required to get that result. So if you look here, you have your dream outcome and your perceived likelihood in the numerator. You maximize both of these. In the denominator, you have the time delay and you have the effort and sacrifice required by the prospect. You minimize that, that increases the value. So just thinking about this value equation is going to allow you to really present something to your prospects and your existing customers with a great offer. So a couple ways to craft it, way to think about it. So an offer is what your prospect or what your client actually gets, and the service is what you do. So the offer focuses on that result that the client can get as a result of the deliverable. The service is just the deliverable itself, right? So we're given offers all the time in our mailboxes. Let's just think of an example. You've seen the local flyer for your local pizza joint. It's probably sitting in your mailbox right now, but right. So say you got an offer. One of them is going to say, hey, this is 2 pizzas, $19.99 plus free delivery. That's going to be something you might actually buy. Or you get something that just says, hey, we're a Neapolitan pizza style restaurant. Cool. Right. So the offer is actually enticing you to want to engage and buy the product or service. And so because there are hundreds of other pizza restaurants in the area, why not use in the past? The reason why is because of the offer. That's going to get you across the line to make a small bet, right? If that pizza is good, you might be back. You might even like it enough to host a pizza party for the Super Bowl, right? So that's kind of how you want to think about things, right? So you have your offer and you have your service. Offer, again, what the prospect gets. Service is what you actually do. Just a categorization here. So like an offer could be something like we'll rework your ads to beat your control by a certain percentage. And then just general services, we do paid ads. Simple as that. All right, so thinking about this specific outcome versus service description. So the lesson here is that cold traffic really does not buy a service. They have enough alternatives vying for their attention already. That being said, though, cold traffic will buy an offer. But the only way you get them in the door to transact is if you offer something with a specific end result, right? So remember that the best offers maximize the likelihood of the prospect achieving the dream outcome and minimizes the time and work required to get the result. So again, thinking about it, what's the specific outcome that they can achieve? So this is a formula that we use to just build a basic offer and specifically for cold audiences, right? So you want to keep the value equation in mind. You can use this simple formula. You can iterate from here, but basically, and you can insert your own variables for the merge fields here, but we help whatever your vertical is achieve a specific quantifiable result in a time frame with whatever your mechanism is. And you can include like some sort of risk reversal, like performance pricing, free trial, etc. Right? So for example, this is what our offer would be. We help agencies add 10 to 15 qualified calls to their calendar every single month with performance-based cold email. Another one would be we help e-commerce brands add 30% more revenue from their existing list every single month by sending daily emails. Or we help funded software or SaaS rework their ads to beat their control by 10%. And we'll even guarantee you get an improvement of a certain number or percent in the first 30 days, or you'll get a refund in writing. So that last part is a risk reversal. To bring it back to the high level, right? You have copywriting. It's not about you, it's about your prospect, right? So you always need to write from the perspective of how you can actually help the prospect. This is a huge frame shift that's going to get you so much better results. How many emails have you gotten saying things like, I'd love to hop on a call with you, or my name is this and I do this and this is what we do and all that stuff? Like, this isn't valuable because they don't really care. The prospect really doesn't care about you. You're just some guy in their inbox. They really only care about themselves. So reframe your outreach with this in mind. Now, I'm going to dig into some actual cold email frameworks that have worked, and we're going to share them in a second, but these have actually delivered results to our clients. Now, the first one here, super basic. You can just call it the social proof framework. And so basically it goes like this. Hey, name, I saw you're leading a specific business segment, so I'm sure you care about this problem that your offer solves, right? So we're helping the vertical of companies, like whatever your case study is, generate the result in a given time frame. Are you interested in seeing a case study showing why we did it? Now, this works because you are providing social proof, you're providing the fact that you're solving a specific problem, and you're giving them a specific result around that problem. Now, direct response, super simple, one sentence. You can add another one too with a little bit of customization here. But ultimately, if we can help you achieve the specific result without icky thing, without whatever they're looking to avoid, like we did for whatever your case study is, would you be interested in speaking? So again, this is super quick. It's a pattern interrupt. When you get so many emails of long text, this is just like short to the point. And it sounds like you would be texting a friend or a buddy or a colleague internally at your company, right? So you want to mimic that in your outreach and just make it sound like you're actually supposed to be there. Keep the frame high, short text. And then the last one here is just a go for a meeting ask. And you'd be surprised at how often people would say yes. So, hey, we're currently helping whoever the case study company was achieve a specific result. And we've helped that same vertical for 10 years, the time frame, so we can help you achieve this result without the bad thing that they're looking to avoid, number one, or number two, right? So if I can help you achieve that end result, would that be worth a 5-minute chat? So the reason why this works, again, you're giving them some social proof, you're giving them a result, you're calling out a vertical that is relevant to them, and you're, again, giving them a result that they could be interested in. Make it super easy to say yes. And if it resonates, the prospect will raise their hand, and then you go into the long-term engagement where you will follow up with them, continue to add value, try to book them into a meeting, and close the deal from there. But anyway, that's enough for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, pop a like. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. I'm going to be putting more content out, but catch you in the next video. Like, subscribe. Talk to you soon.